Why did your agency award this grant despite it being rejected by DARPA due to its concerns about violating the moratorium that was in place? And finally, will you commit today to release all records fully unredacted by the end of this week so Congress and the American people can know the truth about NIH's role and the origins of COVID-19?
So again, Senator, it really pains me to have to just point out to the American public how absolutely incorrect you are. What came out last night on Project Veritas was a grant that was submitted to DARPA. Then it distorted and said, we funded the grant. We have never seen that grant, and we have never funded that grant.
Let's get to the bottom of it. That was Dr. Anthony Fauci on Tuesday, once again changing the subject to mislead after Kansas Senator Roger Marshall asked him about Project Veritas documents that revealed his agency greenlit gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China, and at sites across the country in the United States, despite the Department of Defense rejecting the same study over safety concerns of gain-of-function research. James O'Keefe is the founder of Project Veritas, and he says he's committed to exposing corruption at the highest levels of government and media. His new book, American Muckraker, hits bookstores on January 25th, and we are happy to have him ahead of that release. James, good morning to you. Thanks very much for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
Tell us about those documents that were just referenced in the hearing. What do they tell us?
Well, EcoHealth Alliance approached DARPA, which is a division of the Department of Defense, and for this funding on the gain of function, and it was rejected on the over safety concerns, which flies in direct opposition to Anthony Fauci's testimony. So we had a source come to us with these documents written by a Marine Corps Major. Joe Murphy is his name. We reached out to that Marine Corps Major for comment. And all of this was mentioned in the hearing. Fauci mentioned Project Veritas by name, but DARPA rejected the proposal because it was too risky. They cited safety concerns. So the question remains, why did Fauci proceed with that gain of function research under NIAID when the Department of Defense thought it was too risky? Fauci also seemed to corroborate the authenticity of the documents in the hearing, but he sort of changed the subject and deflected. Obviously, the two grants would have not been identical. So there are a lot of questions here, and Fauci's in the hot seat after the story that came out on Monday.
So how could he sit there under oath and say that the documents out of Project Veritas were distorted? Connect the dots for us.
Well, it could be a deflection because the grant that was presented by EcoHealth Alliance to DARPA may not have been identical to the one that Fauci proceeded with under NIAID. But there's no question these documents are real, Maria. I mean, we corroborated them. The Marine Corps Major gave a statement on the record. This is a former fellow at DARPA. So the documents are 100% authentic. People can pull into question the Marine Corps Major who wrote them, but there really is an inconsistency here, and now we've had members of Congress, also a United States Senator Ron Johnson has written a letter to the Department of Defense. So a lot of questions here remain unanswered, and Project Veritas is going to be doing more reporting on this. And the Marine Corps Major who gave us this statement, again, the Marine Corps Major was not the source of these documents, but he authored them. He has said there are more people on the inside that are going to be coming out. And of course, Maria, there's nowhere else for these people to go. They can't go to the Washington Post. They can't go to any of the large media corporations because they're just busy defending Fauci. They're really one of the only places they can go is Project Veritas, to Veritas Tips at protonmail.com. That's where these whistleblowers go, and that's how we got the information.
Well, we have been reporting as well on the administration's really censoring of important drugs to treat COVID. We don't understand why they have been censored. Also, Dr. Fauci's reported $10 million portfolio includes Chinese companies. We want to talk about that. Let's slip in a short break. I don't know how Fauci can maintain this when we already know that the NIH admitted that they had, in fact, funded gain-of-function research.
I make a special appeal to social media companies and media outlets. Please deal with the misinformation and disinformation that's on your shows. It has to stop.
Misinformation. We are back with Project Veritas founder James O'Keefe. James, you just heard President Biden plead with social media and media companies to pretty much censor whatever is not part of the narrative. You wrote a whole book on it, American Muckraker, drawing parallels to communist China, Russia, and the media ecosystem in the United States today. Explain.
Well, Maria, journalism used to be about holding people to account, and now journalism represents the power to be the ombudsman for the people inside government. You have a symbiotic relationship between, for example, the New York Times, the FBI, and big pharmaceutical companies. That's just not how it should. That's not how it should be. And in communist countries, there is that symbiosis as well. And what does misinformation even mean? Does it mean that you're giving false information? No. It means that you're giving the readers the wrong conclusion by giving them true information. So that's the problem with journalism today. And as represented recently by our victory against the New York Times in our defamation lawsuit, sometimes you can hold the media accountable. And I talk about how to do that in American Muckraker.
Well, James, Senator Ron Johnson was with me last week, and he talked about what is a real scandal in his eyes, that you've got approved generic drugs that are safe, the safety profile remarkable on these drugs, and yet they are censored by big tech and media. And in effect, the American public believes you're not supposed to treat COVID at all, just go and suck it up and isolate for 2 weeks.
Well, another example, Maria, right on that point, is that we've done 2 stories on Pfizer in the last few months, one of which was a scientist at Pfizer's, this is his words, not mine, saying that the antibodies were stronger than their own vaccine. Another whistleblower within Pfizer came to us. Melissa was her name, and she exposed documents from one of their senior directors telling people not to share certain information with the audience. These are statements from within the pharmaceutical company, and we were banned from Twitter for, quote, misinformation, to quote Joe Biden. So what does it mean exactly? What does that term mean anymore? It means we don't trust the people with the truth.
All right, we will leave it there. James, good to have you this morning. Thanks very much. James O'Keefe.